welcome, welcome. We thank God for the grace of God that is given us again tonight. We are here for another reason. We are so grateful to God that the Lord that we save, He can continue to remember us with any effort that we do to love Him. This is a period that you must raise up your faith. You must raise up your faith. Because that only that He needed from you. God does not need anything from you. God only needs faith from you. You raise up your faith and you see what God can do in your life. We're still getting a lot of report about the Sunday service that God visited you Himself. God visited you Himself in your various home. This time it will raise your faith to understand that those who trust in Him, they will never be put to shame. Those who trust in Him, they will never be put to shame. But the challenge that you and I were facing, we only go to God when there's trouble. Only go to God when there's challenge, when they're difficult, when there's a problems. That only you see people will go to God. But it's a very wrong attitude. Very long attitude, because he said, those who read Galatians chapter 6 verse 7, he said, do not be deceived. God is not a mockery. Whatever you sow is what you shall reap. Whatever you sow is what you shall reap. Now, that statement makes me fear, because I'm not hidden. I'm exposed. So it looks like He's not here, but He is. It looks like He's not seeing me, but He does. It's where we have done a lot of mistakes, you and I. We try to please human being, but forget to do to one who have our life in His hand, is holding our life. Is Him can give you many years to live, or He can reduce. Now, if we could fear Him like we fear the government and the police, it could be very easy for us to smoothness our journey. Our journey can be very smooth, but we are not willing to submit. The great thing is submission. How many of us who are willing to submit? How many of us who are willing to submit? Submission, to surrender totally to Him. To surrender totally to Him. That He can able to take over, can able to take control our life, our situation, our entire journey. I was still thinking about the situation of yesterday. The small child who was born in hospital a week ago, he never feel the mother. The mother is inside the hospital in ICU, and the child was being taken care by others. How the child survived from that time until yesterday, we saw him in the screen. Though it reminded me that we don't have no control in our life at all. But I love women when they take their time on the mirror, paint their face, paint their eyes, paint their hair, paint their mouth, they paint everything. And it always be a time that they want to please themselves. It's good. But my question, how many women who paint the heart? I know Desiree, you are an artist, a painter. How was the last year you have repainted your heart? Because most of the time people call you to repent, to renew the picture. But my question is, when did you last repaint your heart? Is that a bigger question? You, all of us here, those are watching us far and those are watching at near. It's a very simple question, because especially toward Christmas and New Year, those have some ability. They will renew their houses, repaint their houses. In fact, other people does every year. But I'm just asking question. Philip, when did you last repaint your heart? Because you're a painter, you're an artist. I cannot ask your wife because she's not an artist, she's not a painter. I'm asking you as a painter, when did you last repainted your heart? Till now you have a nice hair, white one, congratulations. But the problem is the inside. Have you managed to repaint? In one word, to refurbish. It has been a question to all of us, but I just noticed that we only go to God when there's trouble. And people neglect so much things of God. Even where they can get solution, they don't take it in account. The abuse. They only go there when they have a situation. But I want to tell you something as a farmer. Even when you plant, if you don't cultivate, if you don't prune, remove the weeds, you're not going to harvest anything. But you're planted. Though it is very relevant to us that to keep the fire burning, how? To prune, to water. But most of the time, only when trouble comes, that's the time people remember God. It's not people are too busy, But people take God as a second hand. They only remember God when trouble has come. We don't take any account what God can do for us. You don't get any account that your relationship with God must remain tight. Can be trouble, can be difficult, can be challenging, can sickness, can be disease. You must continue to hold on. Even when you are so happy or you are so blessed. Because this is the time we forget God. When you are happy, when you are blessed, when things are smooth, that the time everyone, I don't remove anybody, everyone begin to relax. They become cool. But when the demon or the devil pinch you a little bit at the time, you can even sleep in the church. But now, only those who can go and clean the church, but most of them, they don't do it. But when you see people who never go clean the church, you see them inside the church, you might check, maybe they have an envelope, maybe they need a job. Or the husband is running from him because they lay down the red carpet. And you see the SMS come to the prophet. I never see someone say to me, oh, I paid your air ticket, go for a holiday. It's where our main mistake we've done. We only remember God when the business is not working, when the wife is running away, when the husband is running away, when you have problem at job, when your body had a situation. Only that the time you see people, they can call you even when you are sleeping. How long we are going to remain a life of hypocrite? But me, I don't call it hypocrite. I call it ignorant. I don't call it hypocrite. I call it ignorant. Because the person who is wise, he will make the fire burning. I said to the people, it's very wise when you are blessed, when things are going well. It's very wise for you to become closer to God, very closer to God. It's because God will begin to become relevant to you when everything is okay. Please, that the time must be closer to Him. I said to you here, the foundation of our life is depend only in Him. One thing that I want to remind you today, before you think God knows what you are thinking. Before you do, God knows what you want to do. Though, how can you run away from a person like this? How can you? Who can read your mind? He said, I know the number of your hair in your head. Anybody can count me the number of his hair on his head. I'll give him money. You can see yourself that is where I say I give you money because I know you love money. That one I know, especially women, they love money so much that I say, count your number of your hair in your head and tell me if it's exact, I'll give you money. It's simple. Start counting now. But you see, must open your hair and count. You can see yourself that I'm trying to explain to you here. The time that we need to be closer to God is only the time that we are so happy. Things are moving smoothly, it's going to be a very wonderful time for you to hold on with God. To hold on with God. But if you only go to Him when things become tough, it's only the time when you don't have a husband, you be closer to God. Prophet, deliver me, deliver me. I want a husband, I want a husband. Let God give you a husband. Ha. You are the first people we go to have a meeting to say, I don't like this prophet. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. When they put my feet, I change. I don't want this one. I know. It's happening. It's happening. I've seen many people. When they're looking for something, they couldn't even lift me up. But when they get something, they don't want to see my face at all. Like I have one lady, they had a problem, husband and wife. And the husband suggested, can we meet the prophet? That maybe he have any advice. You know the woman, what he told him? The prophet doesn't come from our culture. He doesn't know our culture. That the answer. He told black and white. The prophet does not know our culture. Though it's not necessary to tell him our problem. And the husband told me the story. I said to him, don't worry. That shows he's going ahead to do the divorce. But you see, the challenge that we have problems is we only know now, but we don't know after hours. Is where we are really tight on. We know now, but after hours is a mystery. Is a mystery. Though we know this time, but the time to come is a mystery. Is where we wanted to have that communion with the one who knows what is the next. The one who knows what is the next. And most of us, we ignore him. At all. Do you know, many of us can forget that there's God, especially when things are going very smoothly. You only remember God when the demon or the devil pinch you a little bit. That the time, oh my God, oh Jesus Christ, you don't listen to my prayer. Hey, how long? Hey, why are you saying how long? When everything was going smooth, did you maintain that relationship? Though we must know that as long as we cannot maintain our relationship with God, we are in great trouble. I know what I'm talking about. Because the devil caught you by surprise. Things could go very smooth, very, very smooth. But the time is going to change. Just a second. The situation has changed. And where many of us begin to curse God. You can curse him. There's nothing is going to change because he's a changeable God. We must be with God always. That at the end of the day, when the trouble comes, he already able to settle it. Don't take him as a witch doctor, like, yes, you know, in Africa, you know, not only Africa, even in Caribbean, they're very good in witchcraft. Even in Malaysia, also they're good in witchcraft. Don't only come in the last minute when your things become unbearable. That you see many of us, we die in the course of these situations. is because before you go to God, it's too late. The devil has taken already your heart. Don't even want to say, Pastor, pray for me. Only laying hand on the dead corpse that you see for you is great to hold on, to have that light shining. Don't wait for the oil to finish in the light before you go and look for the oil. Because that time that you are going to look for the oil, you are going to be in the darkness. And that darkness can take you. You can go forever. So, always have the oil. Always have a provision. But how many of us understand that secret that must continue to hold the light burning? How many of us? How many of us? Even when you bring the assignment at home, you have no time. Though we are in a period that only those who knows him and understand him can be easy to receive the answer. Easily. One thing I've learned that God can answer you there and there like he did to Ezekiel. He can. But the problem is the level of the relationship that Ezekiel had with God that makes the oneness that Ezekiel had a direct line for God. You only give your cell phone number to only those who trust. Though we must make sure that our relationship with God must continue to be intact like Ezekiel. Ezekiel was a king. He had money, he had everything. But God was calling him the leader of my people. There's any leader in this world who God can call a leader of my people. There's any leader of this world that God can call a leader of my people. God is God calling him a leader of my people. Though a king, Ezekiel, lot of money, wealth, everything. But when he said to him, set your house in the order of Shaddai. And when the king reminded God, have a work before you with a loyalty heart, a heart full devotion. I mean, sometimes when I read that kind of message, hey, it shook me. Now, before the prophet reached the gate, God has answered already. But he said to him, go back to Ezekiel, the leader of my people, that I've heard his prayer, and I've added 15 years on his life. Oh, but he had money. He had everything. But he's a friend of God. Though we must make sure that our attitude toward God, even toward his people, his servant, must be a different approach. Not only when there's trouble, not only when there are challenges, not only when there are difficulty, not only when there's a problems, It's what you see sometimes become too late. God cannot do anything. Though you are being reminded that your relationship with God is daily. Though, like the song says, I need you every hour, I need you. Every hour I need you. Not only the time of trouble that I need you. He said, every hour I need you. I said to you that 3 times. The beginning of the year, the middle of the year, and the end of the year, they must do sacrifice. Now, for the sacrifice, there must be some kind of people that needed for sacrifice. Other people, they don't have people, they steal people to sacrifice. And this is the place people are crowded. Is the place they get advantage. When you go to some countries, like I give an example, Nigeria, even when you see 200 rand or 300 puller or rand on the street, don't pick it. Don't jump, oh, I don't have money. Let me pick this. Oh, $100 or $50. Don't pick it. Because it is dropped there for a reason. When you pick it, if you don't have the God power, you go. They buy you out. They've been telling me the small girls, don't ask money. Even other women who want to give you money, tell her I don't need it. Because you never know that money where it's coming from. Kikupa Mahdi, Kikupa Tupula. Hey, you never know where that money is coming from. Even married women, they ask money to any man. Hey, take a cook, take a cook. Hey, but you don't know. Though this time, you only get, even me. I told me one day, Shelly, you see, the money come for so I'm not going to get it. I told you. Some of the money here, I don't get it at all. Maybe I don't know. If I know, I'm not going to get it at all. Because not clear money. Though you don't know this world, what is going on here. Do you know that some people, they don't even afraid or care about doing evil. They're born for it. Their name is destroyers. Dog. That's the name they have. Dog. You cannot stop them to do it. Dog. This is the way they decided on their life. They don't care. In fact, the more you cry, the more they are happy. But how can you be saved? Only when you have the light of God in you. That is, some of you, at your workplace, they hate you. As your environment, people hate you. I mean, you don't know why they hate you. They don't hate you because they want to hate you, because you are disturbing. Your light are disturbing the environment. Though it's even everybody, when they're there, they're laughing, hey, hey, hey. But when you reach there, everybody will become quiet, even like angry. Even at workplace, you can see it. Though you can understand that you must keep your light burning, because only that can help you to reach the destiny easily. I want to read. I was there talking about David. This young man inspired me a lot. It's because the devotion of the life was only to please God. Even when he became a king, total after that, the devil tried, but he came back to reconcile with God. And God is a man after my heart. But I always ask question, but David is a rapist. He raped somebody's wife, adultery and raped. But how come? And God answered me. He don't look about the fact, he look about the heart. God look about the heart. A heart that is full humbleness. Regardless how many mistakes you've done, your humble spirit can help you, God, to wipe away all your sin. Some of us, God could not use us because we are sinners. We've done all the mistakes that we can, but the heart that was willing to change, the heart that was willing to change. How many of us, we are willing to change? How many of us, we are willing to become God's friend? How many of us? Let us read to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17. Let us read how was David confidence in his life, like what I've been teaching you every day. In chapter 17, 1 Samuel, verse 45, David said to the Philistine, "You are coming against me with a sword and spear and javelin. But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the Lord of the army of Israel, who you have defied. This day I will deliver you. This day, the Lord will deliver you unto my hand, and I will strike you down and cut off your head. This very day I will give your carcass of the Philistine army to the bird and to the wild animals. And the whole world will know that there is God in justice." I don't know if you read the Bible. This declaration was not after the battle. This declaration was before the battle. The battle that was, everyone was afraid to face. Alors, this declaration was not after the battle. This declaration of David was before the battle. What the meaning here? David had confidence in his God. This declaration was not to be done after the battle. It was done before the battle. The same way when Ali was boxing, he would say to his adversary, "Today I will hit you KO." But the same person, Goliath, the whole Israel was afraid, including the King Saul himself, was afraid of him. Now look, the whole Israel, how many thousands or millions of people was inside that country? But everyone was afraid. And this young boy, he was talking to straight on the eyes. The what the meaning? Like you go to Michael Tyson and you say to him, "You are going to finish you any time from now." What is going to happen to you? Or he just laugh, ignore you, or he demonstrate to you. Just take you in the ear and use the window and throw you outside. Even when the window have a baklava, you fit between the baklava. Is what happened to David to Goliath. Though David was telling Goliath, though what happened to David is something special, because you could not say that to a man that everybody was afraid. I just want to give you an example about COVID-19. Everyone is afraid of COVID-19. Everyone is afraid. But I have my anointed water. And across of COVID-19, I give him just a drop. In fact, I can give a person a drop from here. I put a drop on the television here, that drop is going to reach you. Is where he did not have the muscles. David did not have the muscles, but he have extraordinary power. Though they call it extraordinary power that can go anywhere, that he had. That the power I demonstrate to you that past Sunday. I visited all the houses. Extraordinary power. That the power David had. He had that confidence. He had been telling Goliath before the battle, say, you, I'll cut your head. You're only able to cut the head of someone when you are near him. And whatever he told Goliath is what happened. That statement, I don't know how you read the Bible. That statement has made me to fear this man David. He said, you came against me with sword, spear, and javelin. I don't know if you've seen these things before. Though this guy, he can hold a spear from here. He can throw it from Gaborone to Sero. He can throw spear. He press all, cross Marape, whatever, until he reach. That's the power he had. Goliath. That's afraid of him. But the young man said, me, I have nothing in my hand. My hand is clean. But I have extraordinary power. Power past power that he had. The beyond power. That you see, last Sunday, I did a small demonstration. I sent power everywhere. Though that the confidence David had, he said, I don't care your physical body. I don't care your strength, physical strength. I don't care what you are holding. What I know, what I have, is greater than what you have. Hello? I'll see that. Is where our problem is fear. Fear. I saw in Naomi, an old lady, 83 years old, travel all the way from Canada and come to South Africa. He did not fear COVID-19. Though you can see what I'm trying to explain to you here. David, he saw the structure of his adversary was used, and he have all the combat, everything. But look at him. He did not look at him physically. He looked at him spiritually. He does not have extraordinary power. He doesn't have the extraordinary power. Because the extraordinary power is the power that you can send the angel anyway. You say the angel, go. You can send the angel. That's the extraordinary power. You don't need to move. From here, you send the angel. No, it doesn't take A second, the answer is there. They call extraordinary power. Extraordinary power is what we need. We don't need a physical power, muscles power. Muscles power, money, whatever is empty. It cannot save us. Never. It's a waste of time. But the extraordinary power. Oh, extraordinary power. That they call beyond power. Now this is the power we need to acquire. And I don't need the physical muscles like Goliath. I don't need the physical muscles at all. Though what I did is to transfer the power from here to you. I've given everyone. That you see other people running from zero because they've seen that it's not the same man that they know. I said, who is this kind of man? I don't know this person. Though the power that we need. But you see, I only give you that time after they are pulled it out. Because if I give it to you, you are going to be walking like this. The pride is going to be too much on you. Even my bishop, I only give you the power when I need that time. I give it to you, and when you finish, I remove it. Because the bishop is going to be in trouble. Yes, this is the power. That's the power David has. He said, you, Goliath, I can see your structure. I can see what you're holding. But for me, in the name of the Lord Almighty, what I mean Almighty, beyond power, extraordinary power. Extraordinary power. Now you see, yeah, I can send. If I want to use my bishop, I send him. I say, give me the power. I send. But after a few minutes, I remove because the husband will be in trouble. Because every time I want to do something, he raise the hand and fall down. Do you understand what I mean? Though we must know that when I heard this kind of declaration, is the way one understand if you call yourself Christian, you don't need physical power, you don't need money, you don't need anything that is physical. You only need the extraordinary power come from when they say Almighty, that shows is beyond the power, is power past power. Is power past power. Though is beyond every power, Almighty. Though is a God of war. He win always. That be that day after the Savior said, move. God, I mean move. Because you're stuck somewhere for so many years. Though, when you say move, it's not, you are not moving physically. Though physically you're moving, but spiritually, you are going. Though, my brother, my sister, without extraordinary power, the devil will continue to play a game on us. He will continue to play a game on us. Because the problem is, the challenge you are facing, you are not spiritually, you are physically. But the one fighting with you is spiritual. We want to talk about that. I say on Sunday, today you want to demonstrate the power that can push away the spiritual husband and spiritual wife. You saw it. I only use 3 ways: the umbilical, the ring, and the home village. Now, watch all millions of television all over the world. How many people talking about the umbilical, the ring, and the home village? How many television? They were so blessed. I want you people to have that kind of power that can challenge the challenge ahead. You can see yourself even in a country like America, a peaceful country, but we have seen today, before the president got to Seoul, the place was more than 25,000 soldiers around. The fear has entered them. The fear has entered them. Goliath is everywhere. Every corner, Goliath is everywhere. Everywhere. Even in Sero Hospital, Goliath is there. Everywhere, Goliath is there. But for you, if you could be a David, you don't be afraid about Goliath. And you're telling Goliath, you, today, I'm going to cut your hair. Do you know, it's very simple to talk, but it's very difficult to materialize it. Like many people say, hey, like Rex said to me, Prophet, when God blessed me, I'll buy for you an aeroplane. Even the bicycle you're failing to buy for me. Though the extraordinary power, it will defeat any Goliath you come to across. Any Goliath, and the Goliath had many forms of Goliath. In marriage, there's a Goliath. Your health is a Goliath. Your workplace is a Goliath. Your job is a Goliath. Your career is a Goliath. Your own body is a Goliath. Your spiritual life is a Goliath. Your finance is a Goliath. Every area of human being life, Goliath is there. Even in your own house, your husband is a Goliath. Your wife is a Goliath. Your children are Goliath. Your parents are Goliath. Our level, spiritual level, determine the Goliath that can stand before you. Our spiritual level determine the Goliath that can stand before you. That you see, most of us, we dodge. We don't want to face the Goliath. Like what happened to people of Israel. They are refusing to face the Goliath. They are dodging from the Goliath. Only David, a small boy, he said, you, today is your last day. How many of us are David on front of our Goliath? None of us. How many of us are David on front of our Goliath? I said to Goliath, there are many kinds of Goliath. Though David demonstrated his Christianity, David demonstrated his Christianity. Now, when are you demonstrating your Christianity? When are you going to show your muscles to the Goliath that's standing in your way? Close my Bible. Goliath in every area of our life, there is Goliath. There is Goliath. Every area of our life, there is Goliath. But believe me, decided to eliminate Goliath for the sake of his people and for his own sake, because already know that he able to enter the king's house. So that shows if you can able eliminate your Goliath, you are able to enter the king's house where is flowing honey and milk. Though if you don't kill the Goliath, you are not going to enter the king's house. Now David gave his life because he knew he had a great promise that I'm going to enter the king's house. By the meaning, after Goliath, you'll be promoted. You go to another level. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So after you have killed the Goliath, that automatically you go to another level. You'll be promoted. Though if you're still afraid, standing, sitting there, afraid to face Goliath, you are not going to be promoted. You will remain the same. You will remain the same level. Unless you get that risk to face Goliath. Unless you, not just to fight your Goliath, no, you must rise up and go and face the Goliath. Though David, that time become a dead person, he said to Goliath, oh, you, I'll finish you. And it happened. Now, when are you going to get that kind of decision? You. It's you to determine. If to cut part of your body, you cut it. Wah! I say, continue to trouble me.